Hi guys. So today we're focusing on Drishti in our practice, and that's going to be the practice of finding that focal point as we move from pose to pose. So I'm going to keep things very much similar in the same range of what we've been doing lately with the Sun Salutation A's. If you're new here this month, we've been focusing on Sun Salutation A's in our practice, and today we're focusing on a concept called Drishti, which is focused intention. And it really allows our body to kind of get into this meditative state while actually still getting present from pose to pose, because we set that eye gaze from space to space. So we're absolutely going to get into the movement today. We're going to do some craniofacial nerve stimulation by actually looking back and forth too. I might do another video on that. But let's get going. So, okay. Hi there. All right. So we're going to start out actually in a seated position today. So you're just going to start out nice and seated. You can relax your hands in your lap or your knees, whichever you choose. And I want you to slowly set your gaze about 3 feet in front of you. And it's a soft gaze. So your eyes are just lowered, your chin slightly forward. It's a soft gaze at a point in front of you. And yes, it is easy to allow the mind to wander. And each time you notice, bring it back to this space. If you need to fidget while you're doing it, that's fine. You can still move while keeping this gaze. If it's difficult to stay there and be still, that's fine. We're learning how to set that gaze while everything else is moving around us. And then we're going to begin to slowly look up and find a point and look over your right shoulder. Set your point. Come back to center. You want to make sure that you gaze at something that is not moving. Set your gaze. Turn to the left. And this is what yoga teachers mean when we say set your gaze. It's hard to know what we mean when we say that sometimes. This is it. Set your gaze. Come back to center. We're going to do that one more time. Each side, look over the right shoulder. Find your point. Come back to center. To the left. Find your point. Back to center. Slowly lift the chin. Gaze. Lower. To the floor, just to that 3 feet in front. Center. To like the top of the wall where the wall meets the ceiling. Center. Floor. Just that 3 feet in front. Center. This actually also, interestingly enough, activates the vagus nerve. So when we talk about craniofacial nerve stimulation, it actually activates the vagus nerve when we talk about that in polyvagal theory to help calm the nervous system. So Drishti not only is a practice of getting into the meditative state as we move and set our gaze, it actually is activating those parasympathetic system as well. So now we're going to add the hand movements. Inhale, reach up. Setting your gaze forward. Exhale, keeping that gaze and lowering the hands. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, lower. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, lower. Inhale, reach up. Now this time we're going to take that right hand behind, left hand to your right knee. Look over your right shoulder, set that gaze. Come back to center. Inhale, reach up. Set your gaze. Twist to the left. Left hand behind, right hand to your left knee. Look over your left shoulder. Pick one point to look at. Come back to center. So now we're going to add breath to movement and focus, right? Sounds like a lot. Take it slow. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, twist to the right, set your gaze. Pick one point. Inhale to center. Land. Come to the left. Land. Inhale, reach up. Arrive. Take it to the right. Set your gaze. Bring it up, inhale. Exhale to the left. Set your gaze. Inhale, reach up. Set. Right. Set. Inhale. Lift. Exhale to the left. Set your gaze. Come back to center. Good job. We're going to add to that now. Rolling over the knees. Into tabletop position, setting your drishti at the top of the mat. Drop your belly. Inhale, lift your chest. Now look up. Set your gaze. Exhale, press away and round. Set it between your knees or your feet, however far you can see. Drop the belly. Inhale, lift the heart. Exhale, press away and round. Connecting each pose through setting that vision, that focus. Drop the belly. Inhale, lift. Exhale to neutral. Tuck your toes. Send your hips to the sky. Option to stay here if you choose in tabletop, or come to downward facing dog. Now you want to set your gaze to the back of your mat, maybe to the center back of your mat, between your feet. Take a big breath in. Full inhale. Walk your feet to your hands. Keep that gaze as long as you can. Now fold. See if you can still see that spot between your legs. To the back of the mat. Relax your elbows. Relax your shoulders. Ragdoll. Release the hands. Slowly rise. Breathe in. We're going to move into our Sun Salutation A's, setting the gaze at each point in the pose. We're going to do 3 rounds of Sun Salutation A's. Inhale, reach up. Set. Ahead. Forward fold. Exhale, set the gaze behind you. Halfway lift, look to the top of your mat, long spine. And vinyasa, hands planted. You can either step back to high plank or tabletop, lowering the knees, setting the gaze in between the hands. Low plank. Lift baby cobra or upward facing dog, setting the gaze forward or up, higher. Press back, downward facing dog between the feet, setting to the back of the mat. So now we're catching that at each place. I'm going to move 1 breath per pose. It's okay if you take this slower. We're going to do 3. You can catch up at any time. Big breath in. Exhale, feet to your hands. Forward fold, keeping that drishti. Halfway lift, breathe in, setting it forward. Forward fold, exhale. Rise all the way up. Reach your hands high. Gaze forward. Forward fold, exhale. Set your gaze back in the mat. Halfway lift, breathe in. Gaze forward. Plant your hands, high to low plank or tabletop, your choice. Drop the belly, inhale, lift, or take it to low plank. Round, upward facing dog or baby cobra. Downward facing dog, set your gaze. Full inhale, exhale, step or jump your feet to your hands. Halfway lift, forward fold. 1 more round, reach high, spread all 10 fingers, lock eyes to your point ahead, and fold. Exhale, set your gaze back in the mat. Halfway lift. Plant your hands, high plank to low plank. Knees, upward facing dog or baby cobra, downward facing dog, and drishti. Big breath in. Exhale out. Step the right foot between your hands, spin your back foot flat, and we're going to slowly rise to warrior 1. You can keep your hand to your knee or the mat. Take that bend in the right knee, reach your hands to the sky, and set your gaze forward. Now this is through discomfort when we can set that gaze, breathe into that space. When all the other sensations are coming up, we can continue that focus. It's a great practice here. Breathe in, breathe out. Open up warrior two. You're gonna spin that back foot. Open the hands. Now our hips are facing the left side of the mat. My right knee is gonna shift up towards the upper right hand corner so it doesn't cave in. And I'm gonna set my drishti, my gaze, over the middle finger of my right hand. If you need a great spot, I like the fingernail on the middle finger of my right hand to set as my drishti. Breathe. I know it might be getting a little uncomfortable. That's okay. Flip your hand. Keep that focus on that right finger. Reach it to the sky. Reversed warrior. And now we're going to take it all the way down to the mat. High to low plank. Set your gaze. Mat in front of you. Lower the knees. Lower the elbows. Low plank. Baby cobra. Setting the gaze forward. Downward facing dog. Drishti to the back of the mat. Left foot steps between the hands. Rise up. Warrior one. Back foot stays flat. You're going to push through the outer edge of that back foot to pull the left hip crease back. Reach your hands to the sky. Set your drishti. We're going to be here for 3 breaths. This is where all of any thoughts, emotions, that's okay. Breathing in to that focus ahead. Full inhale. Open out warrior two. Spin that back foot. Left knee, just let it push out a little bit and look over the middle finger of your left hand. Maybe to the fingernail on your left hand. Holding here, breathe, drop the shoulders away from your ears. Flip your left palm, reach your left hand to the sky and take it down. High plank or tabletop. Low plank. Baby cobra, set your gaze. Downward facing dog. Set the gaze. Step your feet to your hands. Forward fold. That gaze stays to the back of the mat. Halfway lift. Send it forward. Forward fold. Back of the mat. Rise up. Set your gaze ahead. Reach your hands to the sky. Hands to heart center. Beautiful job, you guys. All right, we're gonna move through another round a little bit faster to get that meditative piece through the body. Take it at your own speed. Your body comes first, right? So we're gonna start to this one though in chair pose. Bend the knees, lower the hips, set your gaze. Your drishti, reach your hands to the sky. Full breath in. Forward fold, look to the back of your mat. Halfway lift, lengthen. Vinyasa flow, high to low plank. Lower the knees, lower the elbows, maybe all the way to the ground. Baby cobra. Downward facing dog. Look to the back of your mat. Step your right foot forward. Back foot flat. Rise up. Warrior one. Set your gaze, your drishti. Warrior two. Drishti. Reverse warrior. Right hand to the sky. Drishti. High to low plank. Drishti. Or tabletop. Set your gaze, move through. Downward facing dog, eyes at the back of the mat. Left leg forward, right foot flat. Warrior one, rise, set. Warrior two, set, drishti. Reverse warrior, left hand to the sky. Drishti. To the mat, all the way down, high to low. Drishti. Knees, lower. Baby cobra. Downward facing dog. Big breath in. Exhale, knees to the mat. Big toes to touch, knees out wide, child's pose. 3 breaths. Inward drishti. Maybe you set your gaze almost like you're looking at the back of your forehead, but with your eyes closed. Full inhale, full exhale. Coming back through to a seated position. Now from here, we're going to extend the legs long, give them a little wiggle. A little wiggle today. Perfect. Give them a little wiggle. Reach your hands to the sky. And we're going to do a little forward fold. Yes. Little forward fold. We're going to roll right back over those knees to tabletop. One more exercise in Drishti. So now as you press your palms in, taking that look at the ground, you're going to sway the hips side to side. So notice I have you coming down, and then I'm going to have you going right back up to stand today so that we can set that Drishti at each phase. Tuck the toes, downward facing dog on your mat. Step the feet to the hands and rise. So we're going to play with Drishti in a balancing pose or two here to see how it can ground us. So first pose, right either to the toe to the mat or knee to the chest, look forward. Left arm comes out, right knee goes over to the right side, but look over your left thumb, set your Drishti. Beyond your thumb, maybe to the wall or something to the side. Bring it back, look forward, set your gaze, take your heel, kick your leg out straight and down. So when we can set that Drishti, it's going to actually help that overwhelm and ground us into this moment, right? We're using the intention, the physical practice of focus to draw in to the intention and balance of the moment. So left foot, either to the toe or lifted. Extend the right arm. Move the left leg to the left. Look over your right thumb. Beyond the thumb to the wall, beyond. Sometimes our Drishti has to be beyond what's right in front of our faces, right? We have to see the bigger picture. Take it back. Reach both hands high. Look ahead. Pick one spot. Extend your heel forward and release. Good job. Now we're going to try that a little faster, setting the gaze at each point, right? Right knee lifts or to the toe. So you can always use the toe and then move the foot out, whichever feels better. Tripod, do what feels good for you. We're going to do it a little faster. Bring it in, left arm long. Look over your left thumb. Take it to the right. Back to center, hands up, heel forward, set your gaze, and down. Left side, lift the left knee or tripod, left knee to the left side, extend your right arm, look over your right thumb, pick your point, bring it back, pick your point, extend the heel, reach the arms to the sky, and down. Perfect. Now we're going to play with one we call dancing Shiva. You're going to bring that right knee either to the toe or lifted, left hand to your right knee. This is where it gets fun. Your Drishti goes behind as you extend your right arm. Look behind over your right thumb. Ground down, breathe in, and release. If you fell out of that one, that's totally okay. That's a little bit more of a difficult one. So I decided to throw that one in there for you. Left foot up, lifts, right hand to left knee. Left arm long, look over the left thumb. And come back. One side may feel totally different than the other too, and that's totally okay. Shake it out. Give it a nice little shake out. All right? Reach your hands to the sky. Big breath in. Forward fold. Now from here, take your feet hip width distance apart. Peace fingers to your toes, your big toes. Set your gaze behind you, maybe the wall behind you or your mat. Let the elbows drop out. Now we're coming down once more, okay? We're gonna do that fold once more. Extend the legs long. Extend them out, reach up, look forward, and fold. Relax the neck, close the eyes, new Drishti. Bring it back up. Right foot is gonna come to the inside of your left knee or across. You can take your left elbow to your right knee, or if you're like me who has a little bit of a thick middle, I'm just gonna bring my hand and my right hand's gonna come behind me and I'm gonna look over that right shoulder one more time. Set your gaze. Come back to center, switch sides. Left foot to the inside of the right knee or over. Left hand behind, right elbow either to your knee, or for me, it's just a hand, look over your left shoulder. Come back to center. I'm gonna have you bring the soles of the feet together. Knees out wide, peace fingers to toes. Big breath in, lift up. And then you can either stay here or with a flat back, begin to lean forward, keeping the back nice and flat. If you start to round, stop there. And release. Good job. Give it a little shake out. Nicely done. Take the right leg, bring the left foot to center, right hand down, left hand over. For a nice stretch, look about 3 feet in front of you, setting that gaze. Switch sides. See if you can keep your gaze as you switch the legs. Left hand down, right hand. That's the fun part, seeing if you can keep the gaze while you move. Switch the legs to the right, left foot comes in, right foot. See if you can keep your gaze to the floor, reach it over. Switch, right foot in, left front leg long. Fingertips to toes and gaze. Come back to center. Bring both feet in front. Lean back to the hands. You can stay right here or you can lift the hips for reverse tabletop, looking to the sky. Relax the neck. Lower the hips. Stretch the legs. And open up, resting here for Savasana. Your inner Drishti, maybe setting your gaze behind your forehead. All the thoughts, come back to how I want to feel today. How do I want to feel? I'm gonna have you stay here in this Savasana for as long as you like and just be in that space with your intention and begin to practice your Drishti throughout the day. Your Drishti off the mat being that check-in point. How do I want to feel today? Your intention, the focus with intention. I'll see you soon.